Hello and welcome to a new video here on my channel. Here we are, it's mid-February and winter is slowly coming to an end. Back and I can take care of my lawn again, especially of my lawn irrigation system is already on 3 sections installed, and this year a 4th section is also to be retractable lawn irrigation system will be installed. Due to the many inquiries in my other videos, I would like to assist you with the planning and installation from A to Z. Take along. Today, I will simply start with the planning and will also use, among other things, online tools that are free to show you how to quickly and conveniently. Stay tuned for planning a system. See you soon. Before I start planning for the new section, a brief overview of my existing system I have here on the... A total of 6 water circuits are connected to the lawn areas, each of which is equipped with 3 retractable Hunter i20 lawn sprinklers will be connected, and the whole system will be automated. Controlled by an irrigation computer, in my case a Hunter X-Core. That is installed in the house, the connection is made to the wall, and when viewed up close it looks like this. I have here behind my wheelbarrow the water connection, and here one of my 2 distribution boxes. In these valve boxes you can now clearly see the valves along with the supply line and more. One that runs into the 2nd distribution box cables for the connects and the like. All of that I naturally need for my additional lawn irrigation system. In fact, then in a new area here. A quick look. This is what it looks like. A retractable sprinkler, and as soon as it is activated, when the control computer sends the signal, the entire system rises and sprays the area. The entire lawn area is thoroughly watered here. Now a look at the lawn area that I will also equip with an irrigation system in the future. I want to ensure that the entire planning is modular, so that I can later expand the whole system in different directions. Please think about whether he might not be a hedge irrigation, a bed, a greenhouse, or something similar later on. Still wanted to connect in that case, you should already make the necessary arrangements and plan for the corresponding connections. As you have seen in my other videos, the corresponding addition has already been planned for me. Among other things, the corresponding water pipes have already been installed here under my walkway, including conduit for a power supply for the control cables. Under the same conditions, I have also expanded my potential equalization. This section has already been done. I will now proceed to the next step. I need to put everything down on paper, which means I will draw a floor plan, take a measurement of the individual lengths to then do everything on the PC in a calculate using free online tools I have. You can just try it now. Measured and applied to my floor plan, the whole thing now looks like. It follows from that I now have 3.10 meter, 1.17, 4.17 here, and the depth here at the front in this area, 7.16. So the area back here, then it almost corresponds to a square, and I could make one here now. And say, okay, I will place a sprinkler here that will cover the area. So far about an overall up to here depicts. This doesn't come across clearly from the drawing, but dimensions. That's fine. I'm setting up a sprinkler that reaches up to, it covers all the way over there. I have a sprinkler here that covers this area. Here is a sprinkler that practically operates in a semicircle. This area is covered, so that would already work quite well. However, I then have the problem down here somewhere that I would need to have one here that creates it in a semicircle, We have somewhere here in total approximately 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sprinklers that I couldn't run it all at once because for me the water pressure or the performance would no longer be sufficient. That means at this point we are already talking about at least 2 water circuits here. Must be placed. I will just take this drawing now. Let's thoroughly check on the PC what the online tool says with the data I have and analyze it. I have now recorded my floor plan and I am currently online at Gardena. In that case, I think it's a pretty nice tool. Especially when you are not familiar with it, you get everything you need here completely. Served ready at mygarden.gardena.com D would be the access. You now have the option to select areas on the start screen, to set up or to make equipment. In this case, we simply want to place a lawn area, and I will take, now over here in the middle, the arbitrary plot shape. A click here and then, I would simply like the system on this matrix here. The first corner point is naturally suited to set everything up here like this. To make a cross, click once, release, and then I pull it for myself. Down here, you can see that the lengths are being automatically removed now. And here, over there, I'm now going to 7.60, and once the mouse clicked, then approximately 3.10 meters in length, and the width then back down. It clicks into place. This looks really nice here. I really like it a lot when I see it here. If you want to have right angles, go down 1.70 in this case. West, and then we go approximately 470 in the direction of south. I didn't actually take the measurements here at all because the property is relatively rectangular, you notice when I am here. As soon as I have the right angle, everything will be green, which means the right angles, and I could continue painting here, but I'll do one thing. I click. Now just click on this green check mark up here, and then I have the property has already been locked and is resting. For the first time, you can use the mouse wheel. Now just change the entire size here. And yes, the next step would be then, if you like, you can now here, over there, features and similar things to put together for. In my case, it's simply about demonstrating how the whole thing works now. Should be equipped, we have drawn the property houses. We do not have any additions and so on. The next point would be here on the left. On the side of the sprinkler plan, yes, and then you can already see it as the first thing. Provides a certain automation, meaning that the system automatically recognizes the corners and edges and automatically offers you the sprinklers along the way. To set that, I will do it in this case. The whole thing is now being calculated. It's already finished and a bit closer in, and now you can see it here. A total of 5 sprinklers have been placed, and in this case, they are all Gardena. Products of the T200 up here, the T200, the T100, the T100 and the T200, and you can now see the radius, which means T200, here in the top left corner, would spray up to here to the other T200. They should also properly and adequately overlap. And the 90-degree bend would run along here quite precisely up to this corner. That is the practical, since I literally practically have almost a square up here. Does the same play he strikes here and would then here. Correspondingly down to here, the whole irrigation, so we essentially have that. Now in this case, the second point here would be the placement of the water connection, either automatically or manually. In that case, it will then ask how long the water pipe takes, or the faucet that you want to connect to fill a 10-liter bucket. You should definitely try it out in advance to see how it works. How high your water flow is, the system then automatically calculates whether all the lines run through one system or if there are 2 separate ones. Lines are needed so that multiple circuits can be laid. In my case, it's like this. I really have a very good flow because there are very large pipes. Are also done automatically here, and the supply line in this case is now here on the side. Doesn't fit for my case, but I'm fine with it. Just to show you how it basically works, you can now lay the line here manually and tinker around somewhere. In that case, the water comes here from the tap and then runs here onto the distribution point runs to a T-piece, then here to the first one, the T200. The lawn sprinkler from here distributes everything to the others, and here at the T-piece also goes down here, and a fitting will be added to the system. Automatically calculates the pipe lengths, including the fittings, and similar to what you all need, irrigation control will be in the frame is offered right away, so you can say, okay, I would like the control computer for that case. Everything garden products there I don't have much to say because I neither use the control computer nor the sprinklers. That I personally quite like to use are the fittings. Quick click connector, I have to say they cost a bit more than the commercially available for screwing, but here the pipe is pressed into each other. A quarter turn on the frame and then the things are tight and fixed. I really recommend it to you. It saves a lot of work in irrigation control. We still click on it so that the system can continue. The advantages are presented to me. I have the choice between a power connection and by battery. This doesn't make much sense for this layout. The difference, however, lies in the model that is being offered to you. Basically, I am a fan of being able to establish continuous power because I have gathered the experience with batteries that it always happens exactly when one needs the battery to be empty. You have the option to do the whole thing as well. Still controlled by an app or simply classic without Wi-Fi and all that. I don't need to make any functional accessories for my case right now, at this point in time. Here I say no and would like to first take a look at the planning, and then I have now highlighted it a bit in color. This is how it looks. Now I have my floor plan and know where to place my sprinklers. Can place it, and for my part I'm doing one now because, as I said, I don't want to work with these garden products, so I will take a look at them. Just look at this T200, what model is that? What flow rate does it have? And then just check that I will look up the corresponding Hunter product for that. I can certainly do the whole thing as well. Significantly simplify by simply having the planning sketch as a PDF here. Download this will then be created automatically. I must say, it's a very nice thing that Gardena has come up with here. Finished, and then I already have this available. Let's get started with this, and then you will observe here a total of a little bit more. The entire piece is 6 pages long, my garden plan, which means here is this. The property is recorded on the next page, and you will see the sprinkler plan, and this is the drawing that is really important to me now. The relevant part is that I see where the sprinklers need to be placed, and I see how they cover the whole thing, and I am a bit surprised. I certainly expected that I would need to install another sprinkler over here. From here in a semicircle down to here or up to here. Covers, because the one that is installed here extends all the way over to here. Half circle here, this line goes up again, makes nothing covered here in the middle, but clearly the performance that this one up here delivers sprays down to here, and then makes this semicircle here sufficient enough so that no one is here. More needs to be placed. I would have set one here now, if I had decided that instinctively, but according to this, planning from Gardena is not necessary at all, as the lines are already here. I have installed 25 euros of PE pipe designed for 1 to 2 inch along with the Hunter connections. Use all running over 3-4 inch, which means they are a bit larger, so there is already a specific difference where the Hunter series that I use, the I-20 if I remember correctly, or P20 as it's called, or I-20, I believe it's called the Hunter I-20, can also be individually throttled, so the water flow, if it's too high, I just turn it down. Smaller is always possible. It just doesn't go up like that. You have the individual ones here again. The pipeline routes that the system offers you, and then it comes to the conclusion, just this shopping list on top again. That means everything you absolutely need is nicely listed here, which means you have... Now you can click directly on these sprinklers here, and it will take you to... You can visit the Gardena website and take a detailed look at it. 2 pieces is what was proposed, unit price 19 euros total next to it. The 38 euros, then we can take another detailed look at the whole thing. Would that be same as here in front? When I go down now, you will see the connection pieces here, for example, such as this L connection piece. 2 additional pieces. This little tip here will be used practically right below, screwed into the respective lawn sprinklers, and these are the end pieces. And these are at the corners, where it goes around the curve again here as well. The sprinkler is placed directly on it. I have to say, sure, you can do that. I would advise against it, as I am more of a friend to the corners, so that you see what I'm talking about. We are talking about these spots here, which are practically, this corner piece is set where the 1-2 inch connection goes up and away. So this one here, or this one here at the corner, and then the pipe must be placed very precisely, both in angle and where you will later. You want this sprinkler to be positioned down to the last centimeter and also in depth. And that makes it a bit more complicated. That's why the recommendation is to simply use a standard T-piece that comes from below. Now, here in the picture, something is coming up, and what goes off to the right? And so the T-piece goes away from here and straight ahead. The ending that comes there closes there. Here, simply a flexible. I will simply include the connection piece to the product links below. Description only. This is a kind of small interlude. Flexible hose that connects to this Gardena system quickly. The click system is connected here, and on the other side, it is right here. It would be a 1-2 inch thread at Hunter, the 3-4 inch thread, and then you can directly screw this sprinkler onto these flexible end pieces. And then I simply have the option to adjust the height of the sprinklers flexibly. Place without having the pipe along the entire length here, because you have to take that into account. It will never work as neatly in practice when I dug it by hand. That's why I did it this way. I placed the T-pieces, then I moved away with the flexible piece and then here the possibility to have, in the end effect, 10 to 15 centimeters each, to go deeper or higher to the right, left to unwind. It's definitely more relaxed this way. What else does he suggest? He suggests, in this case, I also have the 25mm in front of the pipe for 50 meters. Roll for 100 euros, that's quite a hefty price, I must say. But I must say that Gardena also has a quality that I wouldn't want to miss. But there are also cheaper alternatives. For the drainage valve here is suitable when you could accommodate a slope overall to allow for then to drain it completely in winter so that no frost gets in there, and I generally refrain from blowing up the pipes for my part. I just see a much too large issue with such valves. There is a risk that they will break and that they will be permanent. Run empty or in that regard break down by getting clogged. Then dirt gets in they cannot open. I recommend that you install the irrigation system in the fall. To drain the compressed air accordingly, simply remove the snippet piece to connect the compressor directly to the lines, and then simply in the fall, attach a compressor and blow it out for about 10 minutes. Then the pipes are also freed from water. For this I have made many videos which you can find below in the description or in the playlist, so that would be one point. I personally don't think it's good, so I won't install it. You have the connector for the internal thread. That would be another one, yes, here it is. That you have approximately 3/4 inch again, 1 inch. These are the connections where it involves the faucet and similar things. You have the standard angles of 25 millimeters here, and the nice thing about this, the system is really that this pipe, as you have it here, is 25 millimeters. The pipe is simply inserted from the side, then this grey edge here is wrapped around a quarter turn yes, turn back, and then everything is tight and sealed. The shopping list goes a bit further. A connector is recommended. It can never hurt to have such a thing as a backup, and here, do you also have a T-piece that I mentioned earlier? They are available. Here is a continuous T-piece where you can directly screw in the sprinkler can or this flexible connector that I mentioned earlier. I could describe here if the line runs along the side, then simply you can go left or right, but there is also a corner piece. It is important that you must make sure to pay attention to whether you have the internal or external thread. That in the end it just fits like that, then there's still the valve box. In this case, Gardena naturally offers its V3, sufficient in size, one inlet and then one outlet, as far as I'm concerned. I won't be able to manage with this small box because I need the inlet. For the lawn sprinklers, I will divide the whole system into 2 zones. I need the inlet for the pipes that run behind my driveway, and I would like to lay another inlet that goes behind my gabion wall, where then later I want to water the hedges as well, which means I need it alone. Already 3, or better said 4 pipes that go away, and of course also the inlet for this would be much too small. The valves offered here are 24V, but I cannot provide any information about them now. Make a statement. So here are 2 pieces. That means here too, it will be with 2. Worked in circles. I have not tried these yet. Can neither one nor the other. I work with Hunter valves in my upper box or with the Rainbird valves in the lower box. My personal preference is with Hunter because the manual opening there is simply much more pleasant than with Rainbird, but fundamentally with the automatic control, I don't have much to do with the manual control. I can do both Rainbird and Hunter. I can unconditionally recommend Gardena. As mentioned, I can't say anything more. I use it. I don't have the connection cable. 15 meters. This is just 15 meters here. Thrown out in general means nothing other than that you are from these. Irrigation valve here requires a cable with a positive and the negative pole operates on direct current. Everything runs through this control computer, and the control computer then supplies voltage to the cable, which opens it. The valve and the water can run means 15 meters is the maximum distance from the irrigation valve to the controller. You should be allowed with this control, at least it looks that way to me. It is desirable that it can be placed outdoors so that there is moisture. Rain, water, snow can also come, then you can place them somewhere in the garden. I for my part have my Hunter i20. The control computer is the Hunter X Core 8 I am using, handling 8 valves with simultaneous control. I have the indoor version because I simply also have a fear that strangers might tamper with it or unauthorized people might get involved because of that. It should be placed inside the house. 15 meters wouldn't be enough for me. I would then just have to take a different cable length. It's also included in the offer. Also the accessories for the water connection, that is the professional system connection kit. If I see this correctly, it is ultimately just the hose with the connections for a faucet. This will then be when one... Now here, yes, I'm not doing that now, where the whole thing is then on the outside. The faucet is screwed on, and then you have these quick connectors. It connects, and then the garden hose goes directly into this valve box. I, for my part, have to say I lay. Then really the PE pipe up to the faucet, I have already done that. Done, then I would simply do the whole thing over. Remove another T-piece, the connection box of this water. I also have that gas station in use myself. It's a nice one. I think that's a matter of opinion. You will also have it afterwards, I know. I don't even know if these are 1-2 inch or 3-4 inch connections. I would need to check again. You can just bury them at the appropriate spots. For example, I have already done that near my hedge. The supply line is connected here with the 25mm PE pipe, and here at the top is then just this quick connector from Gardena where he simply connects the hose. You can click on it and then you already have water at that spot. What I don't have here is a separate valve, so here it is. Practically always water on it as soon as it is on the water line on the supply line. Water on it. That's why I have the supply line that leads to my water. The gas station is also separated in a valve box. I can turn the rain on and off, but it can also be controlled via an irrigation valve. That means that is my goal to complete the whole thing. Automate that the hedge here is also watered via a garden hose. Can be connected through my control computer. The valve and the drip hose will be automatically activated. So, a water station serves, well, and the suggestions that Gardena has here. With the correct quantity multiplied together, a price comes out here. From €704, that is a hefty price, but I promise you one thing, even if you look somewhere else right now. So feel free to include product links along with the description, but it doesn't come out much cheaper. In the end, it's an expensive fun. Both in installation and maintenance, you must be clear that at the latest when the water meter is running, it all costs money. And in my case, it's that I am not even able to do it here. Or rather, our local utility companies are not able to do that. To bill garden water separately, I am also forced to bill the wastewater, paying for the water that is just splashed around in the garden. And I cannot use a cistern or similar at the moment. The goal is to enable participation in order to utilize rainwater for this purpose. But you also have to consider many things so that the water does not. It has its pros and cons, and please make sure it stays clean. First, check with your local utilities to see if it might be possible. A water meter would need to be installed in the outdoor area, which is also recognized. And then you can at least save the wastewater, that you only have to pay for the fresh water. As I said here, living there is not possible because the city services have their own clocks at their own locations where they need to be installed, and the specifications that are made, well, those are ideas that I would like to address. I won't comment further at this point. Yes, my dear ones, let's keep it brief for now. And succinctly, one of the many options you can find on the internet. You can use this right away from Gardena, as mentioned, or you have. Now here is your plan, and then use the whole thing with different parts by. He then simply applies the performance of these sprinklers to other products. Transferred back for a while from the PC, off to the garden From the data I have now obtained from the programs, I know where the sprinklers must be placed, and can already begin to dig the trenches with the spade. To excavate the whole process will take place at a later time. In the next video, I will take you along again, and if you don't want to miss it, then subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you don't miss anything else. First of all, thank you very much for watching. Until next time.